It's rare for the President of the Republic to publicly explain the dismissal of a deputy minister, but in this case, when rules are broken, clarity matters, because no one is above the rules. On June 27, 2025, President Cyril Ramaphosa issued a statement revealing that Deputy Minister Andrew Whitfield was removed from his post simply because he traveled to the United States without prior permission. That sounds straightforward, but the implications are anything but. It touches on questions of discipline, political power, coalition dynamics, and the fragile unity shaping South Africa's government. To appreciate the weight of this, we need to go back a bit. Following the May 2024 elections, no party won an outright majority, forcing the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance to form a government of national unity, an uneasy, ideologically diverse coalition. Andrew Whitfield, then a DA MP and leader in the Eastern Cape, was appointed Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition in July 2024 as part of that agreement. His appointment was significant. Whitfield had built a reputation as one of the DA's sharpest critics of corruption, particularly in policing and procurement, and his move into a portfolio central to economic growth was seen as a test case for whether the DA could genuinely influence governance under the ANC's watch. President Ramaphosa stressed that members of the executive are strictly required to secure presidential clearance for any international travel. This rule was communicated clearly during induction sessions at the start of the 7th administration and again in a cabinet meeting in March 2025. Yet, Mr. Whitfield went to the U.S., reportedly in February, as part of a DA delegation meeting American representatives and did so without receiving approval. He later apologized, but the rules had already been breached. The presidency described the violation as serious because international visits by members of the executive have implications for diplomacy, state protocol, and the principle of collective accountability. Ramaphosa pointed out that precedent exists. In 1995, President Mandela dismissed Deputy Minister Winnie Madikizela Mandela, and in 2007, President Thabo Mbeki dismissed Deputy Minister Nozizwe Madlala Outledge for the same offense of unauthorized travel. In a democracy, such norms must apply equally, regardless of party, ideology, or seniority. By drawing this line, Ramaphosa emphasized continuity, reminding South Africans that discipline within the executive is not optional but foundational. From the DA leadership's perspective, however, this wasn't just about protocol. John Steenhuisen, a strong critic of the ANC's corruption record, accused Ramaphosa of playing political games, saying Whitfield was fired for fighting corruption, not committing corruption, citing his efforts to block suspect appointments and challenge questionable projects in a department already burdened with tender scandals. To the DA, the dismissal looked less like an impartial application of rules and more like retaliation against a coalition partner who refused to stay quiet about irregularities. The DA issued a 48-hour ultimatum, demanding similar dismissals of ANC ministers accused of impropriety, warning that discipline must cut both ways or it will look like selective enforcement. The coalition tension escalated. The DA withdrew from national dialogue efforts aimed at bridging divisions, though they stopped short of leaving government entirely. For South Africans watching from the outside, the optics were telling. Instead of a stable, cooperative unity government, the episode reinforced the sense that the arrangement is a marriage of convenience, constantly under threat of collapse. Analysts say the dismissal was a calculated statement by Ramaphosa. Rules apply, and the ANC still sets the tone in this unity government. It wasn't just discipline, it was assertion of control. After months of criticism that the ANC was bending to coalition partners, Ramaphosa used Whitfield's misstep to reassert authority. In doing so, he reminded coalition members that while they may hold positions, ultimate executive power still lies in the presidency. Ramaphosa, in turn, did not back down. He informed Steenhuisen ahead of time and asked the DA to propose a replacement for Whitfield, reinforcing constitutional prerogative and insisting he would not be swayed by ultimatums. This was important politically because stepping back in the face of DA pressure would have projected weakness, both to ANC loyalists and to rival coalition partners like the IFP and PA, who are also watching closely for signs of imbalance. So, what does this mean today? Is it protocol enforcement, or a power play. On one level, it underscores the importance of rules and collective discipline in government. On another, it lays bare the fragility of the coalition. When trust is low and ideological divergence high, even minor missteps, like a missed permission, can ignite political storms. The DA's reaction, including threats and ultimatums, illustrate a coalition where tensions run deep, even as parties continue to share power. Looking ahead, two paths emerge. 1. This episode becomes a turning point, prompting clearer communication, reinforced norms, and perhaps mutual respect that strengthens the GNU. Or 2. It's a sign of deeper instability, where the DA grows increasingly distrustful, public confidence wavers, markets get nervous, and governance grinds to a halt. The reaction of ordinary South Africans also deserves attention. On social media, some citizens applauded Ramaphosa for finally showing firmness, saying rules must apply even to those claiming to fight corruption. Others, however, felt disillusioned, interpreting the move as another example of double standards, where small violations like unauthorized travel are punished harshly while major scandals, involving billions in stolen funds, often go unresolved. This contrast could further fuel cynicism about politics, where accountability seems selective and politically convenient. Indeed, just weeks later, another crisis hit. President Ramaphosa suspended Police Minister Sensom Chinu amid allegations he sabotaged probes into politically motivated killings. A judicial commission was appointed, yet the message is clear. Instability is gaining momentum. When multiple ministers and deputy ministers face scandals in a short space of time, questions about the government's ability to stay focused on service delivery, crime reduction, and economic revival become unavoidable. In sum, President Ramaphosa's dismissal of Deputy Minister Whitfield was more than an enforcement of protocol. It was a message. Rules apply to all. But it also revealed just how fragile South Africa's government of national unity remains, locked in ideological friction, fragile cooperation, and escalating accountability battles. Thank you for listening. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments. How do you think this coalition will hold up? Will the GNU grow stronger through these tests, or is it destined to fall apart? Let's talk about it, and I'll see you in the next video.